Hello, this is John Majori with Majori on Bowie. And this is the Majori on Bowie YouTube channel where I have at least one new interview every week that always has something to do with David Bowie. And for daily content, visit the blog www.majorionbowie.com where I have new content every single day that almost always has something to do with David Bowie. While you're here, hit like and subscribe so you'll get notified whenever I have a new interview. And today I have a special bonus interview with a returning guest, Rob Fleming from the band KillerStar, and first time together on the show, James Sedge, who James and Rob together are the core members of KillerStar, the great band. And I was thinking about this before we started that the history, this somewhat short history of KillerStar, kind of tracks with the history of the show because
Oh,
it both came into being in 2024, which seems like 7,000 years ago.
it
but
does.
but KillerStar has released quite a bit of material in that time, and the occasion for this visit is a new album or the announcement of a new album, the release of a new single. I've already heard it; it's great, it's out there. But Rob and James, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having us. Yeah, I'd
Hello,
forgotten it
John.
was a coincidence, wasn't it, that you launched the blog around the same time as the KillerStar project?
Yeah, it was a coincidence, but I have to say I have to thank you for coming back on the show a couple times, and the music is terrific, and I like having this association. It's really
Thank you, John.
yeah, it's really wonderful. So, but I don't want to be presumptuous with people watching this. Could we just review how did Killer Star come into being, and why am I interviewing you on a Bowie show?
Yeah, James, do you want to tell the story, or I can?
Well, yeah, I can start.
Yeah.
Rob sent me one song, just a demo, and said, "Would you like to do some drums on it?" I've known Rob for 30 years, and we've been in various projects together, but we'd never played any rock music, and we really fancied something a bit heavier. So he sent me a track, and I did some drums, and we thought, "Oh yeah, we've got something here." And that one song turned into three songs. Then the three songs turned into an album. And then Rob started working with Emm Gryner. Rob, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, Em's been on your show as well, I think, John,
Yes,
isn't she?
yes, yeah.
So yeah, Em's a friend. She's a successful Canadian solo artist who happened to also be in the David Bowie band around 2000. And we basically asked her to do some backing vocals on one of the songs. And then basically one thing led to another. She appeared on the whole album, the debut album, and introduced us to Gail Dorsey, who she thought might want to play bass on the tracks, and she did. And one thing led to another. From there, we basically ended up working with Earl Slick and Mike Garson, Mark Plati, and others. So nothing was really planned in that way, and but it just came about. So it's just a series of events that turned into something for us very, very wonderful.
Yeah, those are all, if you don't recognize the names, they're all Bowie alums and they're all great musicians in their own right. And the Killer Star songs are not Bowie covers.
No,
The sound is it's consistent in that they're rock songs and they're really good, but
thank you.
it's not like a Bowie tribute band. But there is that interesting connection. So anyway, welcome back to the show. Um,
Yeah,
so
Thank
the
you.
debut album actually was released in 2024. Seems like it's been around longer, and you've recently released a new single in anticipation of a new original album. So what could you tell us about that?
yeah. The new single came out last week. So easy. So that's the first one for a new album. New album's called The Afterglow, and that'll be out on March 20th next year. We'll release a few more singles as we get closer to that date. And and yeah, the album is a progression from the first one. We still have the same core musicians working on it. Obviously, James and I, and then the Bowie alumni, the core of that, Mark Plati on bass, Mike Garson on piano, and Earl Slick on guitar. Supplemented this time round with the Webb sisters. I don't know if you're familiar with them, John, but they sang with Leonard Cohen for a long time, and most recently toured with David Gilmour from Pink Floyd as part of his band.
Wow.
So we got to know them, and same thing. They kind of, we asked them to sing on a song, and they ended up singing on the whole album. So they're doing all the backing vocals, and they bring some fantastic singing voices and harmonies to the tracks. I think the album is there's a lot of hooks, a lot of harmonies. There's a lot of flavors of some of the Bowie pieces. Again, it's not a Bowie tribute. The songs are not Bowie homages, but when you have like Mike and Earl and people playing on it, you're going to hear little flavors that are familiar if you're a Bowie fan. And there's definitely some really beautiful stuff that people would enjoy, I think, on the album. And it's a mix of songs. There's some real rockers on there. There's some more ballad, progressive kind of tracks as well. A few like long form songs. So we're really, really happy with it, and we've just literally finished it, mastered it. We're really excited about it. And when you make an album, you live with it for so long in mixing and recording that when you listen back to it, when you get to mastering, sometimes you may be a bit fatigued with it. But James and I were just involved in the mastering at Abbey Road Studios a couple of days ago, and we enjoyed it. We were like, wow, this sounds great. We're really happy with it, and so hopefully people are going to dig it.
It's probably the best place in the world to listen to your album. Is the
Abbey Road Studios.
It's quite special just going in the place. You get the chills, and there are signed Beatles albums all across the walls, and giant pictures of Pink Floyd in the room that you're in. It's very, very
and Bowie,
yeah.
And I mean, and since this is a Bowie blog, I mean, the other thing is another coincidence that we hadn't planned and didn't realize until the end. We recorded some of the album at Dean Street Studios in central London, and Studio One. And as we were there, we discovered that actually that's where Scary Monsters was recorded.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And Visconti used to own the studio, I think. So yeah, lots of coincidences again and connections on this album.
I live in New York State, in the United States. I've been to London once, and these places are like the North Pole or Camelot. They're almost mythical.
Yeah.
So
they are for us too. It never gets tiring visiting places like this ever. It's exciting.
Yeah, we recorded some of it at Rack Studios as well, which is a very historic old studio. It's seen some real action over the years there. But your side of the world's got some great places as well. If we think of some of the studios there that we'd love to record in at some point.
No, it's true. It's
a lot have gone, but there's still some there for sure.
Yeah, no, I live close to New York City, and so I appreciate that. But I could see those places.
Yeah.
So, James, you mentioned something that I wanted to ask just out of curiosity. You said you and Rob had worked together before, but not doing rock. So what type of projects had you worked on together before?
Oh, well, mainly original music, some blues, some funk and soul, some stuff that do quite well in London, actually. Really nice venues, great gigs, good crowds. So we've always kept in touch for probably about 30 years.
Yeah.
And we just thought, why on earth aren't we making an album together?
Yeah.
We really should. And I'm quite glad we did.
I'm slightly surprised that you hadn't worked on rock music before, because you have performed in New York City when I saw you at the Cutting Room, and it really was a rock show. And it was it occurred to me while I was listening to this that a lot of new music isn't really rock, and you guys are.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you're veterans of the genre.
I mean, I think we're both obviously, like you, music nuts, and always have been, and our influences span, all sorts of rock, blues, jazz, you name it. And I don't know why we didn't come to a rock project together before. I've done some rock stuff in the past, and you've done kind of rockish stuff with other bands, haven't you, James? But not together. And I mean, you probably heard a little bit from the first album, maybe even more from the second album. we do like to mix it up a little bit as well. So you'll hear kind of some stuff that's got almost gritty rock, hard. There's a lot of hard rock stuff on this album, but you'll also hear a lot of harmonies. You'll hear like almost pop kind of style hooks and stuff, and even a few kind of jazz pieces. You'll hear some
ambient styles.
And some ambience. I've always been attracted to music that has a few left turns. Is not straight down the line throughout the whole track. And whilst it's not, the songs weren't written necessarily with that in mind, so deliberately they just ended up being that way. So you'll definitely hear, even on So Easy, I don't know if people who've heard that, you'll hear some elements in there which may be a little bit surprising, particularly when we go to a solo section with Mike Garson playing some beautiful piano, which is a little bit of a left turn in the song. So we've always enjoyed that, and obviously we love how Bowie did the same in a lot of his material as well. It's never, often ends up at the end of a song not what you thought it would be at the beginning of the song,
right?
Yeah.
And hard to categorize sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the album is coming out in March, and you have something else coming up in March, which is the return to the 100 Club. Is that right?
Yeah, we're doing residency there again, March 6th and 7th in London. So yeah, that show's on sale now. And then beyond that, we're still kind of thinking what might make sense for more gigs and when we would do those and so on. But that should be a great week.
And I think I read that you mentioned Emm Gryner. Is she going to be opening for you at the 100 Club?
She is, yes. She's going to be doing a solo support act. So we're super excited she can come over and do that.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, she's another Bowie alum. She's been on my show twice. So she's terrific. So
yeah, no, she's fantastic and so hardworking. She's got so much music coming out of her.
Let me ask one other question about the release of an album. So Easy. I'll have a link to it in the show description. And it's very easy it's so easy to find. So if you haven't heard it yet, you could definitely hear it. You make real videos for your single releases, and the videos are not just a stationary camera recording you performing, right? They tell their own stories. So it's an expansion of the art. And how much are you involved with conceptualizing the videos, and why do you take it in that direction? It's like there's an added element to just listening to the song.
Yeah. I mean, James, feel free to jump in, but thanks for pointing that out, because we love the videos. I mean, we can't claim any credit for those because conceptually they're all developed by JJ Eringer. Mostly there was one done by two done by Laura Lynn Patrick. But they come up with the ideas based on the song and the inspiration they get from them, and obviously we review the ideas and give it the green light, and then they really drive it creatively. And I think Jay's and I are a big believer in analog, so we love all the music on the album is analog, with real guitars and real amps and drums and all that kind of stuff, and no plugins and no AI. And the same with the videos. We love a real kind of music video. They're like mini films, the ones that have been produced by JJ and Laura Lynn, and they're very talented filmmakers in their own right that do a lot of short films and so on. So yeah, we love that side of it. We think it's an extension of like you said, an extension of putting out the music is to have hopefully a great video to accompany it.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much. I have an extensive interview on the channel with Rob, and we really get into the history and of KillerStar and the ideas behind it. I wanted to post this quickly because So Easy is out, and I wanted to generate excitement for the album because I'm excited for the album. And I will also say that you mentioned Mike Garson, whose piano playing is so distinct, right? I mean, you recognize Mike Garson playing the piano from almost anything that he's on. And he had played with Bowie as far back as Aladdin Sane in 1973, and Earl Slick, who started playing guitar for Bowie after Mick Ronson. So he started playing back in 1974, and Mark Plati was really key to later Bowie. I mean, it's like it seems like all roads lead to Mark Plati.
Yeah.
And the three of them and Emm Gryner have all been on the show. And if you want to see some great interviews with them, they're all on the show. And I have to thank you guys, because I don't know that those connections would have been made without that initial interview with you, Rob. So I really appreciate that. And the show's developed a following, and I really give you guys credit for that. And I know KillerStar, I mean, the original album was just greeted with almost universal praise and great critical reception. And it seems like 2024 was a long time ago, but during that year, I was listening to it on rotation just over and over again, which so no pressure with this new album. It's like
we're worried now.
But I am excited.
Pleased. We are very hard to please. We're pretty tough on ourselves, and I think this is going to be quite well received.
That's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, we hope so. There's definitely a lot in there. There's a lot of, like the first album. There's a lot of little Easter eggs and little pieces, and it's one of those. It reflects what James and I enjoy with an album, where we love an album that can stand repeated listenings, and a lot of headphone kind of listenings, and you're spotting little pieces here and there. There's a lot of that in the album, and like the first album, it was mixed and actually co-produced by Dave Aringer, who's just an absolute wizard at that. He's really he's the extra member of the band, really, because he completely dialed into what we're trying to do. So he's an expert at kind of placing everything in the mix and stuff. And so, I mean, whether people like the songs or not, I think sonically it's we're just super happy with it. It's a very rewarding listen. But hopefully people will agree with my comment when they hear it.
Well, if So Easy is any indication, I think it bodes well for the entirety of the album. Let me ask you one last question before I'm going to ask you two last questions before we sign off. It seemed like to me So Easy could have been on the first album. Would you say that stylistically this is a continuation, or should we be ready for any surprises and any of the songs moving in a different direction?
It feels like the bridge between the two albums, isn't it, this track?
Yeah, it's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it that way, but I think you may be right. Yeah. I mean, you, definitely on the album, it is a good indicator for other songs on the album. They're So Easy, but there's some songs on the album that you'll be, it's clearly us, but are quite different to that, But yeah, I think, James, you may be right, and maybe it's because we also wrote that song earlier, maybe. Thinking about it,
just after the first album, wasn't it? And, I think some of the newer songs, we've got some more up-tempo things as well that are really in your face. I mean, I was out of breath after finishing playing them. I was racked on the floor. Really hard, heavy playing, mixed with some beautiful, quiet, ambient pieces. So you won't get bored. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, Gerry Leonard's on the album as well. I should add, as well as the Webb sisters and the rest of the Bowie alumni we mentioned. And Gerry's on a couple of the songs, and he brings that beautiful ambient playing that he's renowned for, and there's some delicious ambient pieces that he brings into a couple of the songs, and we got a couple of other people on the album as well, which are actually not Bowie alumni, but Carrie Frank's playing on a song. He's playing Hammond organ on one song, and he's played with the likes of Bruce Springsteen and also Alfino Anibalani, who's with Envy of None, which is a great band, quite an ambient kind of band, featuring Alex Lifeson from Rush, and he does some incredible keyboard work on one of the songs as well. So I think it's, going back to your question before, I think it's a continuation from album one, but there's definitely a lot of new angles to it and new players involved on some of the tracks as well. So it's hopefully a good progression.
Yeah, it's on now. Well, why are you waiting until March? Why don't you introduce?
I know. Seriously, I can't even play it to anyone. It's really killing me. I want everyone to hear it. But
Yeah.
we
Well,
have this thing called marketing, you know, where you have to do it right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
we have
Yeah,
to
there'll be
wait.
another single after Christmas, and well, at least there'll be more than one. So there'll be more stuff coming for sure. But yeah, we can't just drop it now, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that builds up anticipation, and
Yeah,
with every new single of yours, I will post it on the blog for sure. And
great.
you guys are so great to come on, and I hope it's not the last time. So,
Definitely not.
as Killer Star continues its story, let me help tell it.
Oh,
Thank you,
brilliant.
thanks, John. We really appreciate your support, and yeah, anytime you want us to come on, we'll be on. So keep asking.
Beautiful. Rob, James, thank you so much. Really looking forward to the new album, The Afterglow, and have really enjoyed So Easy. And just can't wait for the next chapter of the story.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy
Take care.
your
Bye. Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, today I'm gonna have some turkey.
Oh, have a good one. All right.
All right,
See you later,
goodbye,
John.
guys.